G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I hope you're all well out there, each and every one of you. I've had a really quite a bad weekend actually, very stressful, not very good, as I'm sure some of you out there have had. And boy oh boy, do I need myself a little bit of Tottenham Hotspur and sleep deprivation. That always work as well. But I mention that because I think, a lot of people use football for a bit of an escape for things, and it's certainly going to be the case for me tomorrow morning. And funnily enough, with so much emotional easing required, I'm actually have very low expectations of tomorrow's game against Liverpool. I mean, we've still got a lot of injuries. I think Yves Bissouma's back. But we're still a bit buggered, aren't we? So I'm just hoping the boys put in as much effort as they can. I'm wondering when the adrenaline will run out, because they've been running their socks off the last 3 games. Rangers, Southampton and Manchester United. 3 decent performances, even Rangers, man, to come back from 1-0 down at Ibrox, fantastic stuff. So I obviously when I predict the game, it's going to be 5-0. In fact, I'll use a bit of science for you. Use a bit of science because we beat Southampton by 5-0. 5-0. Liverpool only beat them 2-1 in the Carabao Cup. So my reasoning is that's a 4-goal difference. So we're going to beat Liverpool 4-0. And it's not a fixture we win often. I mean, you've got to go all the way back to last season to find the last time we beat Liverpool at White Hart Lane in a controversial game. Not in my mind, I don't think it's controversial at all. I think Liverpool, we rattled them and they just lost their rag a bit. I wonder if they'll have the same disposition under Arne Slot. I did see a couple of games ago that, was it Robertson? Robertson got sent off. So they've got a red card in them. But let's face it, so can we sometimes. But ours are unjust. Ours are unjust and unfair. Theirs are deserved. And also there was that kerfuffle over the offside goal. It wasn't offside. It was legit. It was totally legit. Totally fine goal, that one. But it was a good game. It was a good game. It was one of Ange's early games in charge. And we showed something about us. We showed something about us. Whatever the circumstances, whatever you think of, this being allowed or that being allowed and all that sort of stuff, it was a good game. So I'm hoping for a good game tomorrow morning. I say we got Bissouma back, and yeah, it's about it really, isn't it? About it. I wonder if our bully boy Lucas Berevile, the 6'2", 18-year-old that can hassle a 26-year-old 6'4" goalkeeper. Let's get him and see if he can hassle Liverpool's goalie with just wafting past. I haven't watched Liverpool play this season. I've heard mixed accounts. I've heard some people say that they're playing really well. I've heard some people, and this is from Liverpool fans, saying that they're not playing very well. So I can't pick it. We kind of knew what to expect under Klopp, which was he called it heavy metal football. But whether Liverpool's playing well or not, they're top of the league. They're the guys to beat. A win for Spurs would put them just 10 points behind. In my mind, that's just 7 points behind, because we're going to beat them again when we play them again. In fact, we're going to beat them in the 2 legs of the Carabao Cup as well. So we're going to beat Liverpool 4 times this year, according to my deluded knowledge. And of course, if we win tonight, the city of Liverpool, just like the city of Manchester, I think we're beating, what are we beating them by? 12-6 or 12-5 or no, 14-5 or something ridiculous like that. We beat Everton 4-0. A win over Liverpool would raise us up. Like I say, we've got to do better against London clubs. But it bodes well, man. It bodes well. I mentioned yesterday, I saw Ange's press conference. He's in fine fettle. He's a thick-skinned guy. He did mention about some of the, I'd call it abuse that he's getting. We've all seen it, we've all heard it. It's one thing to criticise a manager or a player, but there's people on the internet, they go too far. They bring, you know, what he looks like, where he's from, just dumb stuff like that. And I think that's a step too far when you're critiquing someone in football, especially when they're playing for the team you allegedly support. Now, as a sidetrack, there's all sorts of other kerfuffle going on at Spurs, which I haven't bothered. I did a quick Google search beforehand, and just about naming rights for the stadium. Can't see anything there. The best I can glean is it's going to be some dodgy crypto company, because crypto isn't gambling at all, is it? It's worth something. So we'll probably see that come along after our sleeve sponsor Kraken, who's on their website is still going on about this Web 3.0 bollocks. It's an absolute farce. It's a myth. Don't worry about it. So, but as long as, hey, look, I don't care. As long as they give us the money and people are aware that it's a sham, that's all right. That's all right. We need an education campaign. Crypto and gambling is all shams. So don't do it. And the other thing is, which again, I did a quick Google, couldn't see too much about it. This, what is it? I've even forgotten what it's called. That thing on Netflix with the squares and circles. What is it? Squid Game 2. I didn't watch it. I thought it looked like a load of arse, so I didn't watch it. For that kind of thing, there's no point in watching anything apart from Battle Royale with Kitino. What was it? Kitino. What's his name? Beat Kitino. He's a Japanese actor and a comedian. Takano, I think, is his comedic name. Takano. I can't remember his surname. But Battle Royale, which was also the inspiration for the Hunger Games, is a bloody good film. So, hey, look, again, I don't care. Squid Games, what? Are they going to give us money for some old crap? Oh, well, I'm a bigger sellout as the rest of them. So if we're getting a quid for it, I don't care. Because all I'm worried about is the football. And it all starts tomorrow. The kick-off tomorrow morning is at 3:30 a.m, which is hey, fandabadozy. And I don't care though. I need a bit of Spurs. It just it lifts my spirits. As you know, if I was to realistically think of how the game will go, man, it's so hard to pick, isn't it? If we continue playing the way we have been playing the last few games, we'll get a result. I know it could be a handsome result. My concern at the moment, I guess, is that are the players going to finally hit the wall of playing too many games and being knackered? Now, back in the old days, that never happened. I don't know, you know, it certainly didn't look like a less intense game because they're running around in mud, kicking lumps out of each other for one thing. But it seems to be the way these days that players do get fatigued. Maybe it's all the other stuff they're doing off the pitch. Maybe the way of when I used to compete in things, I used to have to manage form against fatigue and stuff like that and taper off. Maybe there just isn't time to taper anymore in professional football. So if that's the case, then you are going to get injuries and fatigue and be knackered. If that happens, then hey man, we could be on the end of a shellacking ourselves, which I don't want to see. But for me, whatever the result is, I'm just going to be happy to watch Tottenham, and I'm pretty confident that the lads will give it their best shot because they seem to have been doing that recently. The pennies dropped with them, and I'm liking the attitude on the pitch. And come what may, you know, it will always be come on you Spurs for me anyway. I don't think our tactics will play any part of us being, if we do get beaten. I don't think it'd be tactics. I think it would just be fatigue and lack of selection and options available off the bench to maybe, you know, change the game. We haven't got many. I don't know if we'll be quite as bad as going for the two goalkeeper gambit that Ange seems to be liking at the moment, but we're probably going to have schoolboys on the bench, aren't we? And I can't see them getting a run in if it's like 2-0 with to us with 10 minutes to go. Ideally, you know what I'd quite like to see, if it was a perfect result, perhaps, apart from 5-0, would be a game much like Manchester United, where we take a lead, maybe two goals. Maybe Liverpool get one back, we get another one, so it's 3-1. Liverpool get another one back, and then we're under pressure for a little bit, and then we just kill the game off. Because I'm curious to see how the media and press and YouTube and everything out there will react to something like that. Because I think we were really hard done by in the last game. I actually watched. I haven't really watched much of his stuff before, but channel Sunny Talk Spurs, and he seemed pretty level-headed. Went through all the interviews, and he's the same opinion of me. It's like, well, we did actually win the game. And it was unfair. It was very unfair, especially if Carragher start going on about, hey, when Tottenham got through to their Champions League final, I knew we'd won. It's like, bollocks, you did. I mean, you might have thought that, but that doesn't mean it was necessarily going to happen. It was a dodgy handball that got you. Well, no, we didn't show up to that game. Fair. All right, Carragher, you might be right this time. But I quite like the being under siege. I like people writing us off. Underestimating us, thinking that we're going to fold at any minute. I mean, this was the thing about the Manchester United game. We were being accused of Spurs almost through it, and the key word there is almost, because in fact we didn't, did we? We didn't. Perhaps maybe in years gone past, or not too many years, but 3 or 4 years, that would be the kind of game that maybe we would fold under. But we didn't. We stood strong. And we came back and killed the game off. So I'm hoping for a bit of action like that against Liverpool. I'm sure it's going to be a great game, and I think the atmosphere will be pumping. I know there's a protest going on. I don't exactly know what the protest is about. I'm sure it's like an anti-Levy. I don't know if it's something specific, or whether it's just not spending enough money, or ticket prices, or maybe it's just bloody Levy. I mean, he's not very likeable, is he? But I hope when the whistle goes, that the fans can separate that and enjoy the game. And from what I can recall of previous protests, that has been the case. It has been compartmentalised, and the team have had full support. So I'm not really too worried, and I don't think Ange seemed to be too worried about the impact of the protest on the game. I think that's a non-issue. So I look forward to a good game. Good game. If you want to join me for the watch along, that'd be super cool. Super cool. I'll be starting at half an hour before kickoff. If my 5 alarm clocks wake me up, I usually wake up beforehand anyway. It's just something, I don't know, melatonin, old age, I don't know. It's like, something exciting's happening in my life, I better wake up, I don't know. So if you want to make sure of knowing when I go live, because I stream daily, most days. But I don't schedule things, because I just like to do it when I feel like it. So if you want to know when I'm going live, if you click subscribe and the bell icon, you'll get to know. But I'm not going to tell you, that's if you want to do it. I quite often watch videos of people without subscribing, and they just appear in my feed, and subscribing is an extra step, so I'm not a badgie to do that. If you're watching, that's cool. That's cool enough for me, man. Anyway, I will see you on the flip side tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. Sydney time, and it's a beautiful afternoon. Even though it's been a shocking weekend, I thought I'd just come down to the park after it's all done and dusted, and just smell the roses a little bit, and have a little bit of nature over there, and it's wonderful. People frolicking around, enjoying themselves. You know what, life ain't so bad. Anyway, till next time, folks, peace and love, man. Peace and love, and come on, you Spurs.